Stephon Gilmore with an interception and a pick six to the house. 2 interceptions of Andy Dalton as the Patriots clinch a playoff spot for the 11th straight year. 34-13 over the Cincinnati Bengals here at Paul Brown Stadium.
Stephon Gilmore. Bengals.
It is what it is. Stephon Gilmore, in my opinion, and I want to get your opinion on this, Evan, NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Yes or no?
A serious candidate. I think it's between him, probably TJ Watt in Pittsburgh, who's having an outstanding season, and a few other candidates. He's on the short list at this point now. I think the biggest thing with Steph is that he anticipates so many of these routes. He said after the game on both of his interceptions, he knew what route the receiver was running before he ran the route. And he almost baits the quarterback into thinking that he's open, and then he jumps the route. And the pick six was a perfect example of that. He kind of stayed back a little bit, made Dalton think that the receiver, Tyler Boyd, was going to be open in the flat, and then he planted and drove on the ball, and it was back to the house.
Asked Evan McCourty after the game about the play of Stephon Gilmore, and he said it's everybody being on the same page and knowing that Stephon Gilmore can make the big play in coverage.
It's amazing to me, too, that quarterbacks like Andy Dalton today continue to target him. They continue to throw the ball his direction. Last week, Patrick Mahomes threw the ball to Sammy Watkins a couple of times in a similar spot and almost got intercepted a couple of times then. And there's some coaches' film evidence that I posted on Twitter last week of Gilmore on one side of the field, and the safety is on the absolute far hash side of the field. And they're trusting Gilmore to basically take away 65% of the field all on his own. It's like some Revis Island type stuff, like what you used to see in 2009.
Very similar.
Peak Revis. Now they're doing it with Stephon Gilmore, and he is just playing this game at an absolute another level. I think that he's even better maybe than he was last year, which is hard to believe.
This Patriots Press Pass is brought to you by Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-belt grooming. Go to manscaped.com and use that promo code GARDEN for 20% off and free shipping. Again, go to manscaped.com and use the promo code GARDEN. All right, Stephon Gilmore, the plays he is making, he had the pick six, but he also had an interception early in the third quarter that led to the Patriots touchdown that made it 20-10 New England. And what amazes me about Stephon Gilmore, to your point about you're amazed that quarterbacks keep going in his direction. It makes the rest of this Patriots defense that much better, and the rest of the secondary that much better. Remember, J.C. Jackson also had a pair of interceptions here on Sunday.
Yeah, J.C. Jackson's second interception was one of the smoothest interceptions I have seen all season for the Patriots. He tracked that deep ball beautifully, and it almost looked like on all 4 of Dalton's interceptions here today, Gilmore and J.C. Jackson were the intended receivers on the play. The very first Gilmore interception, he ran the under route better than Tyler Boyd ran it, and Gilmore joked last week, I think it was last week, that he might be able to play both ways and play a little bit receiver, and today I think he actually proved that he might actually be able to play. It
was a great one-handed grab.
Yeah. So I think that a couple weeks in a row now, we saw last week against Kansas City, but also a couple weeks ago against Dallas, he had that really good catch going to the ground in rainy conditions in a day where a lot of receivers were dropping a lot of passes. Stephon Gilmore was able to catch it. So maybe Gilmore can play both ways.
All right, and it's also worth noting on this day in Cincinnati, the secondary is getting a little bit thinner. Jonathan Jones looked like he really tweaked his groin coming out of this game midway through the fourth quarter. That's something to keep an eye on. But Stephon Gilmore's play today here on Sunday without Jason McCourty available, to me, is another reason why Gilmore is so valuable to the secondary.
Yeah, I think that he's just leading by example at this point for guys like J.C. Jackson. If you're J.C. Jackson, a young cornerback in this league, who's better to learn from than Stephon Gilmore right now? I think really the best cornerback in the NFL playing for the New England Patriots. And like you said at the top, Defensive Player of the Year, I think after today, another pick six, 2 more interceptions. I think it's a real possibility.
He's got a career high now, 6 interceptions. The Patriots wrap up the playoff berth for an 11th consecutive season, beating the Cincinnati Bengals 34-13. Inside Paul Brown Stadium, he's Evan Lazar. I'm Mike Petraglia, CLNS Media.